So Xbox is kicking off this summer with some insane games, as not only do we have some awesome Xbox Game Pass games, we also have some insane free-to-play games, and we also have to see some amazing games that are going to be releasing on the Xbox Store. So this is the best upcoming games to play this July. I'm Sunny here at Xbox Central, and we start this with Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. Now this is the upcoming expansion, and it's coming with tons of awesome content. We're talking about new storylines, dungeons, raids, and jobs. You get to explore this gorgeous continent of Teal, featuring new cities with different races, cultures, wildlife, many breathtaking landscapes, and of course you're going to have fresh new quests. Dawntrail also introduces two new jobs, the Viper and the Pictomancer, offering unique ways to customize your character's abilities and playstyle. And you get to enjoy this with the first major graphical overhaul that not only promises to make the game look more crispy, but it also optimizes it for better performance. Dawntrail is set to drop on July 2nd, this 2024. Alright, so we have the game The First Descendants, and this is an upcoming free-to-play looter shooter that lets you play cooperatively with up to 3 other players. You play as Descendants, these soldiers tasked to save humanity from the forces of evil, and you get to pick from a variety of unique characters, each with their own skills and abilities, which really come in handy when facing these massive bosses. Now the gameplay combines quick movement with grappling hooks and an arsenal of deadly weapons that lets you create your very own playstyle. However, I'm not really sure how I feel about the game at this very moment. The game features are really impressive, but I kind of feel like I need to see a lot more gameplay, or better yet, actually play this myself and decide if it's really worth it. Either way, I wanted to put it on your radar, as this does launch this July 2nd. We have the game Demon Slayer, and it seems to be kind of like inspired by Mario Party, but with its own unique twist. The game lets you play cooperatively with up to 4 players, where you travel across different locations based on the popular anime series, and you get to enjoy a ton of different board games as you prepare for battle with the demons during the day and then engage in some intense tactical fights at night. Now the game features some of our favorite characters from the series, including Tanjiro, Hashira, and a lot more, and each character comes with its own unique powers and abilities to help you win these battles. It's really a treat for fans of the anime series, and you can play this game when it does come out this July 16th. So we're getting closer to the release of Magical Delicacy. This wholesome cooking platformer I think looks really nice, and in this game you play as a friendly witch who aspires to become a great chef, and the game brilliantly combines 2 totally different genres for a unique gaming experience, one where you can explore this stunningly gorgeous 2D world using your platforming skills while also collecting ingredients, and then you have this whole other part of it where you get to meet a cast of quirky characters along the way who have their own errands and things for you to run in return for some of these new recipes. The game's a great option for anyone who enjoys cooking or platforming, and this will arrive on Game Pass on July 16th. Speaking of wholesome adventures, we have the game Flock. This is coming to Game Pass, and this is a game where you play as a shepherd trying to guide a group of bird-like flying creatures through this gorgeous and peaceful environment, and as you guide them, you find new creatures along the way and grow your herd as you go. You can play this game alone or with friends, either way, and this is set to join Game Pass here pretty soon, mid-July, on PC and console on July 16th. If you're into fast-paced shooters like Doom and you have like maybe a thing for vampires, then EvilVEvil is definitely a game you need to check out. It's a co-op shooter where you get to play these badass vampires taking on hordes of gruesome monsters through challenging quests, each with powerful abilities and skills. Now Evil vs. Evil is all about slaying monsters in pretty much any way you want, whether you like spraying guns like you did in Doom, or you're maybe more into brutal melee combat. Really, there's something for everyone, and you can team up with 2 other friends as you engage in these fast-paced battles and progress through a world teeming with tons of monsters. EvilVEvil is set to drop on Xbox Series X and S on July 16th. Our next game is Asphalt Legends Unite, and this latest entry in the popular racing game series is really known for its high-octane action and arcadey racing experience, and in this upcoming edition, it's promising to make things even more competitive by introducing cross-platform multiplayer races and a brand new co-op game mode. Now on top of that, you can enjoy the game's signature stunts and intense car battles as you take on opponents in fast-paced arcade-style races. The game is set to arrive on all major platforms, including Xbox, this July 17th. If you're a fan of detective games, you're going to want to check out Nobody Wants to Die. This is an upcoming crime mystery game that puts you in the shoes of Detective James. This is a guy whose job is to hunt down a serial killer targeting the city's rich and powerful. Now the game looks pretty good, both in terms of visual and gameplay. You get to use these awesome time manipulation powers and these high-tech gadgets to investigate crime scenes. You're going to be piecing together what's happened, and you're going to find clues by replaying each scene. The game's like a mix of detective work and thrilling story that makes you think about the pros and cons of living forever. Nobody Wants to Die is set to arrive on Xbox on July 17th. While we're still waiting for Hollow Knight Silksong, I think we should give the game Bow Path of Teal Lotus a shot. This is an upcoming action platformer that puts you in the shoes of Bow, a small magical creature on a journey through a vibrant, mysterious world inspired by Japanese folklore. It combines fluid platforming mechanics with engaging combat, allowing you to explore intricate levels filled with unique challenges and obstacles and monsters, and the game looks amazing with its unique hand-drawn art style, and then it has an awesome soundtrack to boot. Bow Path of Teal Lotus is set to arrive on Xbox Series X and S on July 18th. So we have Dungeons of Hinterberg. This upcoming action RPG title lets you explore a gorgeous tourist spot set in a village of Hinterberg, and you play as a young girl, exploring mystical dungeons filled with puzzles, enemies, and treasures, and you get to interact with the environment to solve puzzles or unlock passageways to progress through different types of areas. And the gameplay here is a mix of combat, exploration, and puzzle solving, with each dungeon offering unique challenges and rewards that'll keep you busy. And the game does stand out, I feel, with its colorful, stylized visuals and creating, of course, an engaging world that looks really fun to explore. Plus, you get to interact with quirky villagers and uncover the lore hidden in this village as you go. Dungeons of Hinterberg is set to drop on Game Pass as a Day 1 release on July 18th. And speaking of Day 1 releases, we have the game Flintlock. This is one of the best games joining Game Pass this year. It's just right around the corner, and it gives us plenty of reasons to get excited. For one, the game features action-packed combat that is gritty, it's brutal, and it's packed with some awesome combos. You've got guns to shoot your enemies with while keeping, of course, at a safe distance, or you can just flat out get up close and personal with your melee attacks and magic. And secondly, the game I think looks gorgeous, featuring a wide variety of areas just full of detail for you to explore in what is going to be a vast open world. Lastly, I am falling in love with its awesome parkour style movement that uses magic that lets you fly around in style. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn arrives on Game Pass as a Day 1 release on July 18th. Now, Schim is probably going to be one of the more unique games to release this July. It's a game about a soul which kind of looks and moves like a frog that has been separated from its human body. It is now trying to find its way back to it. Now, that sounds pretty simple, right? But the problem is that the soul can only move by jumping across shadow platforms. It's a pretty unique take on the platformer genre, blending innovative mechanics with a touching story. Schim is set to release on Xbox on July 18th. Now, a game that I am excited about, and after many years of controversy and debates, College Football 25 is ready to make its comeback with updated graphics, more realistic gameplay, and a deep level of immersion. In this game, you get to build and manage your own college football team, taking control of everything from recruiting top high school prospects to developing game-winning strategies. College Football 25 brings back authentic stadiums, team traditions, and the same electric atmosphere that fans have come to love. We can also expect to see detailed player models, dynamic weather conditions, and enhanced rival AI to make the game as realistic as possible. College Football 25 is set to arrive on Xbox Series X and S on July 19th. Kunitsu-Gami: Path of Goddess is another thriller that combines action with strategy to offer some unique gameplay. In this game, you play as the protector of Divine Maiden who wants to purify the villages, and you do that during the day, but as soon as the sun sets, you've got a whole army of evil creatures to fight. And to win these battles, you're going to have to recruit local villagers and assign them roles and set up defenses and get ready for that nightly showdown. The game combines real-time combat with strategic planning, letting you change up formations and playstyles on the fly to beat these monsters and protect the maiden. The vibrant art style and unique setting makes Path of Goddess, I think, a standout. If you love action and strategy games, you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out for this one, as it does land on Game Pass on July 19th. So I'm sure you've seen those hectic F1 races and thought, would I be able to handle that pressure? Well, it's about time we find out. F1 Manager 2024 lets you step into the shoes of a Formula One team manager, where you'll experience all the thrills and challenges of running an elite motorsport team. From adding split-second strategic decisions on race day to overseeing the development and engineering of your cars, you will be doing everything. This upcoming edition promises to take that experience to new heights with more realistic graphics, a deeper management system, improved AI, and enhancing the driving experience on your real-world circuits. If you guys are into F1 racing games, don't forget to keep an eye out on this one as it lands on Xbox on July 23rd. Alright, so we have FrostPunk 2. This is the much-awaited sequel to the city-building survival game that's ready for another epic round. With the captain now dead, you take over as the steward, and you're tasked to ensure the survival of this overpopulated city. The food and other resources have almost run out, and the residents have started to rebel, and they're divided into different factions and communities. And that's not all. The game's also introduced a major upgrade to the city building mechanics that will allow you to create even larger cities and districts, not just these smaller building units. So it's going to be testing your problem solving skills, your city planning skills, really all to the ultimate test. FrostPunk 2 will be available to play on PC Game Pass on July 25th, and it'll later come on Xbox Game Pass on the Xbox Series X and S. Alright, so we have a host of other free games I want to talk about. There's kind of like a lot of free games this July to watch out for. We have Marvel's upcoming team-based hero shooter Rivals. This is set to join Xbox, though it's going to be in closed beta. This is awesome for anyone who loves Marvel superheroes and of course those badass villains. You'll get a chance to pit characters like Spider-Man, Atom, Black Widow, and even Thanos against each other in some intense battles. The game looks epic with each character having its own unique powers, and they can use these in this fast-paced team fights. There's no release date for this one and it looks really good. I do want to say this does remind me of like Overwatch, so you're kind of getting like Overwatch with heroes, so it should be an interesting when it does come out here pretty soon for beta. Then we have another amazing game here. While we're waiting for Marvel Rivals, there's a tactical team-based shooter that you can get into that you might know about. It's the infamous Valorant. It's already been out for about over a week on the Xbox Series X and S for beta. This Counter-Strike inspired shooter is really intense. It's a ton of fun to play, and you can sign up for the beta to get an early taste of what the game's going to look like on your console. Finally, the last game is Smite 2. Now this will be free to play on Xbox at some point when it fully releases, but at the moment to get into the beta you will need a founders pack. You'll have to pay for one. Otherwise though, this MOBA that's been around for such a long time is now upgrading to Unreal 5 and the action looks as good as ever. It's been a long time since I've gotten to play it, but it's one that I'll have to jump into, just like some of the best games you can play into this summer that you should jump into. So check out that video on the screen.